we're back. Let's talk about Rocko's Modern Life. Static Cling. Did you get a chance to watch this yet, Jonathan? It's 45 minutes. Yeah. And it feels like just a heavy, like maybe like a 2-part episode, really. It feels like that. Kinda. Yeah. It wasn't like an actual movie. Yeah. But it was nice having it back. Now, what did you think of it overall, Squeaks? Squeaks watched it with me. We both watched it.
It brought me some joy.
Yeah.
Because when you first, the art, they kept the same, which I appreciate. Same, that. Yeah. Just maybe a little brighter or whatever colors. Overall, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. 60-40.
If it's two different episodes, the first episode, 10 out of 10.
Oh, man.
Second episode, 5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the first half of the show, you just got the feels. Like I told you before, I was smiling on it. I was like, oh my God, this is real. And then just, because he comes back 20 years later.
Yeah.
And it was just funny to see Hefner, Rocko, and Filbert just living like nowadays, where there was a scene with the phones where they're like, oh, I got the new phone. Well, I got the newer phone. And then the newer phone than that just came out. So, and then gluten-free stuff, I think, was the thing with shakes. And it was funny.
They have the drones. Everybody's got drones. They use drones for everything.
Got drones.
So let me kind of, we'll do some spoilers. It's 45 minutes. Yeah. It feels like just a regular episode. So I don't think it's like so spoilery. Yeah. But generally the idea is that in the last episode of Rocko's Modern Life, they got shot into space, like a rocket went into the house and brought them into space. Yeah. So they actually pick up straight up from the show, which was really cool. And then they've just been in space. Nobody aged, apparently. It's been 20 years. And they keep watching the same tapes over and over again of Fatheads. Fatheads is basically an analog for Rocko's Modern Life within Rocko's Modern Life. They keep watching it over again. They found out a way to get back to Earth. We won't have to go into details because it's classic Rocko's. We're super silly. There's a button, basically. They get back to Earth and it's 20 years later and everybody's like, oh, we've missed you for 20 years. Nobody else has aged. Yeah. Nothing's aged. Yeah.
Just technology advanced.
Yeah.
Just a city.
Just the technology did, yeah. And then as soon as they land there, Rocko says, fellas, I don't think we're in the 90s anymore, which is kind of like that's cute.
I'd give anything to go back to the 90s.
Oh, man. Perfect times. And then, they go through all like the typical like consumer stuff of today. So you had the phones and everything like that. It was really cool. And I really like how Filbert became like a vlogger.
Yeah.
He did. So he's videotaping himself, everything's doing. It felt, especially the first half, just felt like an episode of Rocko's Modern Life. Mm-hmm. It was a trip because it was just like, it feels like this could have been made right after the other ones. Like it was nothing else. Same sound design. Everything was exact same. Animation was just crisper, but it wasn't different.
Yeah.
And that's even a part of the episode too. So when they get back, of course, they've been watching these Fatheads the whole time on TV. So when they get back, they're like, we want to watch Fatheads, and it's not on anymore because it's 20 years later. It's got canceled. They don't even do the reruns anymore. Yeah. So we find out that Mr. Big Head, which was the neighbor,
has them on tape or something.
Yeah, well, no, he works for the company that makes them, but his life has been great without Rocko.
Yeah,
company's doing well, right? And then as soon as Rocko's back, it's funny how it kind of coincides that all of a sudden like the company falls apart.
Yeah.
And Rocko, it comes out basically like, hey, if you guys bring back big heads, or fat heads. It's hard because it's two different things. If you bring up fat heads, you can save the company and the town because we're all based around this company. And the guy that made Fat Heads is Big Head's son.
Yeah.
What was it? Ralph. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Ralph.
They go out and try to find him using drones and a couch. So they tied a couch to a drone. I'm going to try it later on, see if it works. They find Ralph. Now, this is where we basically split up into two different things. Now, before this, a fun Rocko, nothing else. Now, I'm not saying what happens is bad at all.
Yeah, no.
Totally embrace it. All of us do.
Yeah.
Totally cool with it. We just felt like, why are you trying to shove morals down Rocko? Yeah. Because there's other cartoons for that. There's other cartoons that are like moral high ground. Like, can I give an example here? What do you think? Like,
a cartoon that's kind of...
That kind of teaches you a lesson the whole time.
Gargoyles?
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Honestly, John, we mentioned gargoyles like in every episode.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, maybe they'll get the hint. I don't know.
Yeah,
man, I'm trying to think of cartoons. I don't really watch too much cartoons now.
But you know what I'm saying? Like every cartoon kind of. Yeah. There's a lot. Well, not everyone, but there's a lot of them do that. And then there's some that are just nonsense, like a SpongeBob, which generally don't have to teach you.
Avatar.
Avatar teaches you lessons and everything like that. Yeah. So you don't expect it in your Rocko's Modern Life because it's supposed to be like, exactly. That's a good point. It's like Cat Dog doesn't need Yeah. So, but then what we find out is Ralph, he left the family to go kind of find himself, and now Ralph is Rachel. He's transitioned into Rachel, and he's living his life. He's living his true life now, so he's happy. She is living. Thank you. Is living his true life. Good catch. And isn't ready to come back. Well, then Rocko gets him saying like, you need to save your family's house. That's where you grew up. And so She decides to go with him, and when he gets there, Big Head won't accept her. And it's like, man, this is like really deep stuff for Rocko modern life. Like,
but it is making the show very modern, right?
Very modern life.
Pulling
that's
in
true.
Like legit problems that people are having these days.
The thing is, they just didn't used to do problems. It was weird. I don't think they did. I don't remember. Though.
I think they just trying to adapt to society with. I think back in the days it was like pagers and kind of things like that. The little stuff. I don't remember it ever being.
We didn't. I don't think we had such complicated issues back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
There's too much communicate. Like now that we have the internet and everybody's talking about everything and stuff like that, people just we're too spoiled in the way we're able to live so comfortably now that. Our problem isn't like I don't have running water in my house or my electric got cut off or something like that. Now it's like my phone battery only lasts 18 hours instead of the 24 like it used to.
I hate when that happens.
Or my toilet paper's not soft enough or something.
Yeah.
Or complaining about social issues like, gender change and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird because it was in this.
It was just, in a world where every fucking show we watch has to have something like that. It's like, man, I just want to get away from all this. Yeah. But with the Rocko though, it was like, well, as soon as that happened, it felt like a whole 180 with the show.
It felt like a different show. That's the thing. Is if you felt like you were watching Rocko from the 90s, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, hard stop.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new show. It's a whole different show.
So maybe they should have waited a few episodes to start doing that transition.
Yeah, and I don't.
Or just give me Rocko like it was in the first half, to be honest.
And also, this is a special, so really, what are we expecting? It could be something different because it was a special.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, so anyway, we'll just continue the story real quick.
Yeah.
We'll wrap things up. So yeah, Big Head won't accept his new son or daughter, and Rachel decides, okay, I'm gonna leave town then. And when she's finally like, nah, I still love my family. And what's really cool is this whole time the side story is that they're gonna make big heads themselves. Fathead, thank you.
Yeah.
But they're gonna what's that?
That show.
So, but then they're gonna digitally animate it, and it's just garbage. It's just crap. Which is cool because the whole time you're watching Rocko, and it's in the classic animation, so it's like that's cool. But then Rachel decides she's gonna go ahead and do this, like, anyways, make Fatheads the right way, and she has like an actual animator studio. Like she folds out the desk and just starts drawing on the cells. It's really cool, and doing the old school stuff. And she brings it back, saves everything. Meanwhile, Rocko, who's been trying to bring the show back, and Big Head, who's not accepting his daughter, are both realizing that they need to change. And there's like the winds of change.
Yeah, there was this thing where this cloud wants, like, oh, you need to just accept the change, like kind of forcing you. Oh, enough. Yeah, it was pushing you.
It was kind of like a. God, wow. How would
it was pretty much like you're screaming as a viewer. You're telling me if I can't accept something, then I'm wrong.
So it was more like your conscience, right?
No, it was just something
no,
like,
it wasn't that. It was almost like, so this is what it felt like to me when I was watching it. So, because the part of that story that I'm relating to is the guy who wants his old show back. I was actually relating to Rocko, right? Yeah. I think we all are really for watching Rocko's Modern Life in 2019. And they were telling you, like, look, you guys have to accept change. Rocko's gone, type of thing like that. And that's what it felt like they were telling me. And it was like,
oh, I see. So yeah, the gender change is just like your show is now changed. Rocko's not the old Rocko.
But the thing is the other story was in there too. The Rocko story was still there.
Yeah.
So they were shoving both of them together, basically saying you guys have to accept change. And I think they're almost like, look, you guys accept this change with Ralph becoming Rachel, just fine. Why do you have a problem accepting the fact that Rocko Modern Life is a 90s cartoon and you're not in it anymore?
Yeah.
So it's almost like, why are you guys so obsessed? I almost felt like, why are you guys less obsessed about, why are you guys not so obsessed about a cartoon? Yeah. I almost kind of felt like that, like they're kind of almost like, aggressive. Get over it kind of thing.
Yeah, they're pushy.
And I'm watching Rocko's Modern Life right now, so don't tell me to get over it. I'm obeying you already.
Yeah. Gosh.
So, anyways, and then we get to the point where, Rachel comes back, saves the town, saves everything. Great show. In the new show, though, the family gets a baby, and it's a little different. Rocko doesn't accept it.
Yeah.
So then he does one more step where he's trying to say, like, no, it's still not the same. And Big Head says, no, we have to accept change. Follow us as we accept change.
So flip-flop, yeah.
Yeah, and pulls him, and then everything's happy-go-lucky after that. I just think that it was just weird that they had to make the change. But I really liked it up until that point. And even with it, I really liked it. It was just, that's the thing is we complained, but I mean, we liked it. It was still a good show either way.
Yeah.
But it was just that it was that hard of it, that big of a change. Even the reveal, like they even like revealed it, trying to make it like, here we go. Like it was a reveal. It was a big deal.
Mm-hmm. They probably know they have to shift gears quickly because they don't have a lot of exposure. You know, they got one shot to get to their point. But it sounds like that if they were to have taken like 3 or 4 episodes to get to that transition, it would have been a lot more comfortable for you guys. If they knew that, hey, this is going to get sold no matter what, this is going to get bought, and we're going to be able to air, 50 episodes before we have to consider, re-upping or whatever, getting more funding, then they could have taken the time. But it sounds like they needed to do not just bringing back their 90s show, but whatever they're going to be airing long-term for people. Because
the thing is, are they doing long-term, though? What's the plan?
So this was
just a one movie ordeal.
Right.
I would imagine they're trying to bring it back because the audience has been saying for years, we want our 90s show back. But I'm sure the producers are like, hey, your 90s show just won't sell like it used to in the 90s. We need to bring back your 90s show with a modern twist, like Stranger Things has been so successful with. So,
so far, Murray, the guy that made the show, has only been approached to do this one thing.
Oh, okay.
But I can see what you're saying is like, this is what we will do in the future if we bring back Rocko's Modern Life. It will be these kind of stories.
Yeah.
Fantastic. As long as I get more Rocko, I don't care. And it's really good to share these stories. It was just so jarring because we weren't ready for it in this. But if that's what you're saying, then that makes a lot of sense. I actually really like that idea of like, hey, this is what new Rocko is. This is Rocko's Modern Life, which would make a lot of sense. I actually really like that idea.
So this whole concept brings me to a really cool idea. I don't think anybody has enough money to do it. But if you were to bring in the same exact way Seinfeld back, wouldn't that be so cool?
The only person with enough money to do that is
Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, like that'd be awesome. Imagine them dealing with modern politics, modern technology, and then maybe they live in a little bit different areas or something like that. But Seinfeld, I mean, he'd be at the point, oh yeah, my show was a huge success. This one that he was trying for so long, and now he's wealthy and doesn't really hang out with some of his friends as much, and whatever. Maybe Kramer's turned homeless, or everything's changed.
Couple things about Jerry Seinfeld. First off, he has a really good show, Comedians in Cars. Getting Coffee. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
Second thing, he has not aged well politically.
Oh, really?
He's very old school. The actually gender dynamics he has a hard time embracing.
Hey, that played good on TV though.
He's even come out and said like you can't do college towns, like you can't go do comedy at college towns. He's told friends that.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of comedians say that.
I don't know. That'd be tough for him to.
Well, so he
maybe actually him with like his own kid and trying to like grow with him would be really good.
Yeah, you'd have to play on that dynamic. He's in his 60s now, isn't he?
God, I'm old if he's in his 60s, but I think you're right.
Yeah, but so you'd have to lean on that a lot with them. I mean, I'm sure some of them would be totally into the new technology and stuff like that, but Jerry could be the standout who's just like not trying to get up to date and stuck in his stubborn old ways. I like the idea of like Elaine being like super overly techie and stuff like that, like Women's March, but she's like overly a poser and stuff. That'd be really funny.
Yeah. Do you think these will be successful though? So like, Rocko, and you're talking about Jerry Seinfeld, you come back, well, you're only really focusing on one. They're doing different things because they're trying to grab more people. But who's the first people that are going to watch this? Rocko's Modern Life fans. Like, fucking kids know that shit nowadays. Yeah. So if you bring back Jerry Seinfeld, who is the person that's the first group you're going to get is huge. Jerry Seinfeld fans.
Yeah.
So.
But that's like most of America.
But will bringing modern days new ideas into old fans or whatever piss people off to veer like I don't want to watch this shit no more, or maybe bring new people.
I think one of the problems is you aren't entertained the same way you were 20 years ago.
Yeah,
we've all changed, we've evolved with the world around us, so the entertainment has to change with us.
True. We like Rugrats, but now we watch Family Guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you go watch season 1 episodes of Family Guy, you're just like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
That show was so much better back then. But yeah.
Or
I don't.
Any of these shows, they've all changed. Simpsons is actually a lot better now, but I mean everything.
It's so funny. I love Simpsons now. A lot of fans disagree with that 100%.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But yeah, cool.
All of our entertainment had to grow with this though. So
that's So I think Rocko would be a harder transition because they were going from a format that never existed to a format that exists now. Mm-hmm. So still, telling lessons the whole time, that didn't exist in Rocko before, but now they're trying to make Rocko about that now. Mm-hmm. But I think it would still do well. Yeah. Because I think we're a little bit different viewers, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Seinfeld now, that actually did tackle, at that time, relevant issues.
Yeah. Hmm.
So it actually is perfect for the situation. Same thing with, like, we've talked about it before, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for now because you're just doing the same formula again. You're telling stories again. It would be really, of what's going on today with, just a family living in that.
Yeah.
Jerry trying to raise his kid, and because it was just dropped off at his doorstep or something like that. It'd be really good if he's still single and trying to mingle, and and it's not working out well.
Yeah.
George, oh my God, George could be a family man who's just trying to escape his wife and kids.
Like three kids, an older teenage daughter, or something like that. That's the bane of his existence.
Yeah. And a wife that's always nagging him or something like that. So he's going to Jerry's apartment to like get away from him. Oh, that'd be really good.
Kramer's still got to be like
Kramer's scheming.
A bachelor. Yeah.
One of my favorite Jerry or Kramer moments is when he has his own talk show in his apartment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's like dun dun, like he has people come on.
Yeah, because he has like a whole full set. Right?
Yeah, he gets the full set. He puts it in, and then he even like Jerry. I don't know if he's like cheating on his girlfriend at the time or whatever, because he has a different girlfriend every episode. And then he's like, "Well, let's bring in your girlfriend." Dun dun dun. The girlfriend come on to talk about it. Because of Jerry Springer. By the way, Jerry Seinfeld's 65 years old.
Man,
I know. I'm old. You'd have grandkids on the show, actually.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
damn, that would be cool. I'm down. All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to get in on this episode before we finish things up?
No. Anyway.
We covered a lot.
What would you give? Oh, real quick. Grade Rocko's Modern Life.
6.
6 wombats out of 10.
Damn, that's good. What would you give it?
I honestly, it felt almost so good to see. I'm gonna go 7 plus. It was just so good to have Rocko back.
Yeah,
7 in the tail.
If I could do the halves, I would do 6.5. I would go up a half. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got Vader Zim's the next kind of treat coming back. I'm excited for that. So, just the same animation again, man. They got me. All right, guys. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.